what we're going to do now is, you know that NGS shape file we just downloaded from the website?
And yeah, the shape file, that's just like a file extension for a GIS file. Yes, we went to the website and we downloaded Nueces County NGS monuments in a shape file format. I do remember that.
Yep. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to bring that into your GIS.
Okay, we had to unzip that file, right?
Yeah, we had to unzip it.
Okay,
put
no
it in
problem.
specific
I just want to make sure I understand. Okay.
You got it.
So how would you bring it into ArcMap or ArcView?
Well, I got to open up ArcMap. So that's the first thing I got to do. Open up ArcMap. Takes a minute, but
for the people that are just now getting started in GIS, do they need to actually go into Arc and do this right now, or is this something that they can go back to after they see module step 3 and step 4, which actually show a lot more detail on how to use software?
What I would recommend is they watch this, watch the whole thing, see how they bring in their base data, which is actually what they're going to want to do first.
Okay.
But after they do that, they're gonna see where this is gonna come into play.
They can always come back and replay.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Our whole goal right now, guys and gals, is to make sure that we can show you that as you get data off the internet, which step 4 is really about, in the 5-step process, that you realize that it's really simple to put your data into the GIS once you download it. So right now, the goal is georeferencing. That's the step that we're on. We're just going to show you how we got the data for the NGS monument that we're going to actually go out and localize and calibrate our job to. Right?
Yep, you got it. So I'm going to open up my base map that I got. And I actually have a folder called Projects. Under that Projects folder, I have a file called GIS. And that's where I keep all my map files that are my GIS files. It's just easier to find them and separate them from my my surveys and my scans department. So I'll click open, and I'm going to get my base map.
You know, one thing I'd like to note is as long as the world's turning down at the bottom, see there, that right down there, if you can point.
Yeah, what I recommend is if you see that spinning, don't touch anything.
Right.
Because you're going to have to spin it again and again. It's just easier to let it go.
Right. Just be patient sometimes.
Now, what I have on this base map, Rob, is just my street layers. I have my imagery that's actually off right now, and I'll show you how to turn that on in a second. On top of that, I have my abstracts and then my counties. Now, you see this area right here on the left. This is my table of contents. And the way this is ordered, top to bottom, is the way my files are actually laid out in my map from top to bottom. So on the top, I got my counties. At the bottom, I got my imagery. So just gets that out.
You know, we ought to make a separate little CD or video on how the basics of ArcView and actually how to manage the toolbars and all that. But right now, you guys just be patient, and we're going to go ahead and get through this process. Definitely, you'll be brought up to speed on how to use ArcView, and there's also some training you can get online that we'll be talking about. But right now, just have faith and trust in us of how we're going to show you how to bring in the NGS monument.
Okay, so we're going to add in our NGS monument shapefile. The easiest way to do that is to click this button right here on top. It's a plus sign with like a yellow diamond underneath it, and it actually says add data. So you can click on that and navigate to where that shapefile is. Mine is under base data. I called it my county name with the NG. S didn't fit in there, so I just called it NG. Click on that, and that little symbol right there, that green square with the dots in that, that's showing that is a point shapefile. If it was a line, it would have lines, and if it was a polygon shapefile, it would have polygons. It just depends on the geometry of the shapefile.
When we get to step 4, we'll probably get more detail about that.
Definitely. So I'm just going to click add and bring that in. This is just giving me a warning that my coordinate systems are different than the coordinate system I have on my map right now. ArcMap's going to automatically transform that for me on the fly, but it's just warning me that it is going to do that, so I can just hit close.
So there's a geographic calculator inside.
You got it. That engine's doing it. All right, now what we got here is all the points that we need. Okay, what we're going to want to use this for is for actual hyperlinking, and hyperlinking is something we're going to cover up later. But to make this file go online and actually pull up the data sheet that we need to very easily, we have to set something up first. Now, the way you do that is to actually click on your shapefile that you want to do, right-click on it, and go to the bottom right there where it says Properties. You're going to click on that. It's going to bring up your Layer Properties window, and there's a lot of tabs right here on the top. The one you're going to want to click on is your Display tab. Now, right here in the middle, you have your hyperlink area. Go ahead and click this checkbox right there. What that's going to do is make this active.
Okay.
Now, the attribute that has it in there, the actual field, is this one right here. It's called data source or data SRCE. You're going to click on that, click on URL, and that's all you got to do.
Okay.
It's going to make it work.
All right.
Believe me. Now, we're going to zoom into the area where I'm going to send my crew out into a little bit. And to do that, you click this little zoom in tool. It's a little magnifying glass with a plus sign in the middle. That's actually going to let you interact with your map. Now, you want to click on one point and pull it to another, and that's going to let you zoom in. This dot right here is the one I want to get to. So we're going to get in a little bit tighter. Now, as I told you earlier, you can actually turn on the imagery behind this. And to do that, all you have to do is hit that checkbox, and bam, that easy.
And when you say imagery, I know we're getting ahead of the game, but I'd rather ask you this right now.
Go for it.
Does the imagery come out of the box with ArcMap, or how do the people get the imagery?
Actually, where I'm getting this imagery is from PSRI, and it's actually streaming online. So there's a server somewhere, and it's holding this for me, and I'm actually able to pull that in.
So we'll be able to show any surveyor or engineer anywhere how to get imagery into their GIS base.
Anywhere in the world.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
So we want to grab that NGS point and actually go to the data sheet. To do that, you have to use your hyperlink tool, and your toolbars could be at different places depending on how you have your map set up, and you might not see it in the same spot where mine is. But the tool's still the same nonetheless. And that tool you want to use is that little one right here. It looks like a lightning bolt.
Yes.
You want to click on that. And that's going to make your hyperlinks active. So you want to go on top of that, hover over it, and you will be able to click on that. And it opened up in my other window. We'll bring it over here. And this is my NGS data sheet for that point.
Wow.
As you can see, my retrieval date's today, September 6, 2009. Corpus Christi is the quad that it's in.
Right.
County's Nueces.
Right.
That's where it's at.
PID, your XY information, and if you notice the height on there is only within a few decimeters, so we know that that's probably not really a good elevation control, but it's great for survey control horizontal. So I just wanted to point that out, that for a lot of people that are getting into a lot of the NGS monuments don't always have good vertical, but they almost all of them will have good horizontal, so it's important to may use multiple monuments, some for horizontal and some for vertical, when you're calibrating your job to get good elevations, or as good elevations as GPS can give you.
Okay, what we're going to do with this is a couple of things.
All right.
First thing I want to do is print it, and where we're going to print it is actually to Adobe PDF. So that way I don't have to scan this later. I can put this inside of my scans folder, and bam, it's done for me.
And then we can just print out a hard copy for the file for the crew.
You got it. So
and when you print the PDF, or you can just print it and actually put it underneath the project folder. When we get under it later, we'll be showing that all the scans will be located under one folder.
You got it. So I'm going to go to scan, and I'm going to call this data sheet, and I'm just going to call it today's date, just so it's easier to get it later.
All right.
And that's going to run. And right after this, I'm going to push print and give it to my field crew so they could go collect that data for me.
Great. So after we collect the data sheet, and this, in reality, you may be collecting and printing multiple data sheets because, you don't know the quality of them, or you don't know if they're there. So in reality, you would be able to do this, even though we know that mark's there because we've been there. We used it many times. For those of you that are maybe just now getting into this, or you may be doing this a long time. Either case, or you will find out that having multiple points, having backup points to go to in case yours has been destroyed or is no longer available, is very important. So no matter how many points you can create the data sheet, print them out.
Yep.
I guess the next step is to go to the field.
Let's go.
All right.